So the mathematical ideas that we went over recently were mainly about the mean absolute deviation, the MAD, relating to sets of data and finding the mean and the MAD. So the mean absolute deviation is referring to the mean absolute deviation variability in a data. Specifically, it is the average distance from each data value and the mean, the actual mean. We also talked about random sampling, finding how many in a set of data, like related to the finding the fish, how many fish were in that pond, and by doing random sampling you can estimate. So we're going to identify the MAD in a data set and comparing the different sets of numbers, and we're going to do the mean distance of the data points from the mean of the data set. So we're going to have a number to average that is away from a number that's away from the mean on average. So we're going to look at this measure of spread, the MAD, relating to this data set between 3 different people's scores of free throws in basketball. And they're making baskets, and they're keeping track of the number of baskets that they make out of every 10 attempts at making a basket. And this is the recorded data. So as you can see, each person had made 120. Each person gets 120 attempts because there's 12 numbers and there's 10 attempts, so 12 times 10 is 120. And then you do 120 times 3, and there's like very huge. The actual huge total is 360 technically. But then we're gonna find the average, and then we're gonna find the average of the difference between the numbers away from the actual average. So the calculated average, the mean for each girl's set of number of baskets out of every 10 attempts, the average for each girl is 5, and that is the mean for all 3. So to calculate the MAD, we need to record the distance between each of the girls' scores and the mean. So the mean for all 3 is 5. And so we go, like, say, on the first girl, Elena, we record the difference between the two. How far away that number is from the average of 5. So, like, Elena's first score is 4, so the distance from 5 is 1, and then the second one would be 5. Second one is 5, but the distance from 5, it's already reached it, so it's 0. And so you calculate, you'd fill in all that for all, representing all your data, and then you find the average of the distances from the mean. So, and then you calculate that, and that will be that average. So the mean absolute deviation for each girl's baskets are 2, 1.5, and 1. So after plotting all the data points from after calculating the mean and the mean absolute deviation, you can see the spread of each data, and you can see that the number of baskets Elena made were all spread out, and the number of baskets Jada made weren't quite spread out, more towards the middle. It's medium. And the number of baskets Lynn made a lot more tightly formed in the middle.